Ale, as usual.
Good health to you.
Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Well, it depends what you're willing to do. There was one troublemaker around here not long ago, but we dealt with him. He was selling some relics and he claimed were miraculous, but it was nothing but worthless trinkets. The villagers sent the bloody swindler packing so fast you couldn't see his heels for dust. All the way to the Dechko, I believe. I reckon he won't last long there either. And that's not all. Of course, it's your own skelet's fault need the most help. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times, and she's working her fingers to the bone, taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who would lighten her load. That's all I can think of. Good luck. God be with you.
Do you want something?
I do. And you look like the kind of fellow who knows a thing or two and wouldn't mind a bit of work that's not entirely,
Got it for you.
well, honest.
What's it about?
I'm looking for someone who knows how to dip her pockets.
Here,
For a
just as you ordered.
reward, of course.
That's not for me. Farewell.
Bring me something to eat. Good luck to you.
Certainly. Have a pleasure.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ be praised.
What about the crown? Is it finished?
I seem to recall telling you exactly when the crown will be finished. And that time isn't yet. May the Lord watch over you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for the workshop of Master Engraver.
It's in the monastery courtyard. You'll find him there. Good luck to you.
Pijmy, chlapci, dobré víno.
Jesus Christ be praised. Good luck.
Can we do something about the price? All right, sir. Satisfied?
A nice sum. Just lower your demands a little and we'll agree.
All right, sir. And who are you?
Brother Elias.
What do you do here?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
How long have you been helping here?
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case someone takes a turn for the worse. Sometimes I have to hold a patient down or fetch and carry things.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I can manage the basics, but without Brother Nicodemus, I'd never be able to deal with the more difficult cases.
Thank you.
God be with you.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
To be honest, not really.
So what am I supposed to do with you? Well, never mind. At least you'll learn something new. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights. Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot? Are we agreed?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost. Agreed. Now listen up.
It's done.
Did you weed the beds and leave what should be growing there alone?
I may have picked a couple of the other plants by mistake.
If it's only a couple, there's no harm done. I'm going to check with my own eyes.
What the fuck are you looking for here? I want...
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What do you have to hear, you fucker? What you're made of? I'll have you. I'll have you. You'll get one. Well, I'm gonna enjoy this. What are you? What's the matter? Come on! You call that a rat? I'm going to enjoy this. You'll get one more. What's the matter? Come on! Yeah.
I feel quite hungry.
Hey,
Good day to you. What do you need?
Is there somewhere I could sleep here?
All right. For how long?
Just the one night?
No problem. But you pay in advance.
Here you go.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
Where do I go to sleep?
That's easy. As soon as you go indoors, at the end of the room on the left, there's a door leading to the chamber. Everything's prepared for you there. Take care. Men spill more than you drink.
My respects to you. What's happening around here?
Nothing much, thank God. Peace and quiet is a blessing in this day and age. Good luck to you.
Zaplać hospodar.
God be with you.
There wouldn't happen to be any work here for carpenters, would there?
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, 2 survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take that?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
They're good men, from Skalitz. Basically your neighbours. You have to help them.
That's God's own truth. Love thy neighbour as thyself. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
can't go any further. The current could sweep me to my death.
Yeah.
Good day, Henry. Hey, what a face.
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
I won't. What happened?
We might have pummeled his face. But don't get involved, Henry. We'll settle it on our own.
All right. I'll leave it be.
Thanks. Take care.
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. I couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
The reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Why did I even bother with you pair of parasites? I risked my good name to find work for the both of you.
And we'll pay you. As soon as we have anything to pay you with. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage. Goodbye.
My respects to you.
Can I sleep here?
Aye, there's room here. For how long?
Just the one night?
All right. Money up front, though.
Here you are.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is. God be with you.
Yeah.
God be with you.
What about the crown? Is it finished?
I seem to recall telling you exactly when the crown will be finished, and that time isn't yet. God be with you.
Yeah.
For a job.
Yeah. Were you satisfied with my weeding?
You said it was finished, but I took a look at it. Is that what you call a finished job? Off you go. I'd better do it myself.
God be with you.
You wouldn't happen to know about a brawl that happened here not long ago. Apparently it involved two carpenters who were being treated here, and they were fighting with a monk?
A monk? I've no idea.
May the Lord watch over you.
These wounds have been well taken care of. Johanka?
I can't stay here.
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and...
I can't stay here.
They're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
Can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Ratai unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep. but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe. But convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week, Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.
You wouldn't happen to know what Fritz and Matthew did here, would you?
Don't even talk to me about that. They weren't badly injured compared to most of the others here, and after lying in bed for a while, they got bored. So they started drinking. I'm trying to help people in dire need, and the two of them are drinking with that cretin Elias.
They always have been thoughtless, but at least they were punished for it. Who is this Elias, anyway?
One of the ordinal monks who helps out here. He was the one who brought the booze. All three of them got friendly pretty fast. You know what they say about birds of a feather.
And do you know what got between them?
I don't have a clue. One minute they're the best friends in the world, and then a lot of yelling and furniture flying around. They threw Fritz and Matthew out straight afterwards.
What kind of person is this Elias?
A timid kind of fellow.
And why is he being so hard on Fritz and Matthew? They're drowning in debt because of him, and it seems all they had was a small fight.
I don't know. He was the one who wanted to befriend them in the first place. I don't believe it's because of any property damage they did. It's got more to do with wounded pride.
Thank you. That's all I need.
What will happen to mine again?
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of, but others Others are dying here, needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded, then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this... I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka, but he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Please, help me.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm shamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
Wouldn't you rather learn the basics first?
Well, I'll think it over.
I won't get any sleep.
My respects to you.
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodians. The most esteemed Sir Sebastian, Baron von Berg.
You don't seem to think very much of him.
But of course I do. A man with a nose so stuck up that it acts as a rain funnel can't be all bad.
What does the custodian do, anyway?
Well, he's meant to look after the local community and keep the peace.
But
in fact, he seems more interested in robbing everyone blind.
I'm much obliged.
Don't mention it.
You look bored.
Beyond tears.
How can you be bored here in Sasau, in such a holy place, filled with knowledge?
Don't even talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the books. They don't want to talk to you. And when I wanted to look at the remains of St. Procopius, at least, they ran me off. Me! Like some kind of thief. What good is the whole blasted monastery if I can't even do that?
Well, they say there's not much left of poor Procopius.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm not blaming you. It's just that only monks have access to the reliquary in the crypt. Folk were even taking relics away from St. Procopius' cave for protection before. Now no one's allowed in there.
I know. But I'd never dream of doing that. I just wanted to touch them for luck.
Maybe I could help you.
How? You're not planning some mischief, are you?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You can get in there, you could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it.
Oh, now. You'd do that for me?
Of course.
Then I'd be very grateful to you. Take care now.
God be with you.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
Something could happen to her too, someday.
If any ill befalls my dear Johanka, she won't be left lying on some grubby floor. I'll personally see to it she's taken care of.
Because I'll pay you.
For supplies? But of course. That will be...
Oh, come off it. You get your supplies from the monastery for free. No one will bat an eyelid if you ask for more. Blankets can get chewed up by mice. Food can go off.
Yes. These things happen, certainly. And as long as the monastery needs my protection, they'll have to put up with it. Farewell.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own. He'll be able to get out of this on his own.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly. Take care now.
Everything here is fine. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly. He'll be able to get out of this on his own.
God, what will happen to my family?
What are the...
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian can set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium. Anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
God be with you.
What the...
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the humans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get some.
Good luck to you.
Everything here is fine. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka.
What do you want?
I have the bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, Fine then. Farewell.
Huh? Shit. What's going on?
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it.
Good luck to you.
Huh?
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God! There has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
I'll give it a go. It's not like I can make it any worse.
So you don't know anything. Don't even think about touching that poor man.
What about the executioner from Ratai? He usually breaks bones, but he might know something about mending them too.
The executioner? Even if you could persuade him to come, they'll never let him in here.
Well, maybe it would be enough if he advised me and then I tried...
Look, do whatever you want. I have to go and take care of the others.
One of the sick men, Semek, is complaining about pain and the fact he can't work. He says he...
Semek? Is he one of our people?
No, he's a construction worker. He's bruised and confined to...
Henry, for God's sake, our neighbours are dying here. Your friends. There isn't time to waste on some construction workers' bruises. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Listen, all I need to find out is the name of a herb.
Then go and look it up in a book. You've got your own herbarium, haven't you?
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned...
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go.
Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know.
Take care.
I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
I'm surprised you see it that way. They only talk about you with respect.
Really? Them?
Of course. They said you fight like a bull. And they hope you'll have a beer with them sometime again.
Well, definitely. Men will fight sometimes. I'm sure we'll settle this debt somehow. Farewell.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, so.
What do you say to this?
Come now. Just a little more and we have a deal.
I knew we'd come to an arrangement. I'd like to discuss the price.
Aye?
Since it's you.
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
Very well. I agree.
Yeah.
Glad to fucking see you, Henry.
About your brawl with Elias.
How the fuck do you know about him?
Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. On my honor. Thanks.
God be with you.